Beautiful soul, welcome to my channel. This is our end of days. Um, I didn't really have a plan for today's video. I ended up kind of gelling. One of the things that I really like to do, and I want to be able to make more videos of it, but I don't really know how. Try to give the camera room here, but it's I spent like probably three and a half hours just and this is my small one, but just spinning, man. Just like it's might be considered baton spinning. I don't really know what it is. Where I'm at currently, in the beautiful land of Hawaii, I just recently learned that there's something that they spin and they dance with that's called fire knife dancing. I don't really know the history behind it, but I saw somebody in the park spinning something, and so I had to ask about it and see what was going on. And it's just so much fun, you guys. One of the things on my channel that I really want to promote and like plead people to get in touch with, the inner child, man. So much of society that I see, we've disconnected. And it's kind of, just like I say on my channel a lot, we're comprised of a masculine and feminine energy. And I really feel like a large part of the inner child, at least from my experience, maybe just as a male, is the divine feminine. Uh, it's being able to just flow with life like that. That's why I just love it, you guys. It's just so much fun. Oh, it's just like flowing, and then I get to listen to music. I don't have to, but it just flows, man. And so much fun, so much fun. And healing, like and grounding me, like in more than one way. Because also like I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I'm one of the things on my channel. I'm super authentic. It's just kind of I am what I am. Here I am. So take it or leave it. It's not up to me at that point. I accept myself, and if I don't, I'm working on it, you guys. Like from what's his name? Carl Jung. A lot of the I was going to call it philosophy, but it kind of is a philosophy too, but it's a psychology. But that's a whole other boat, man. Like I kind of combine philosophy, spirituality, psychology. To me, they all rhyme. If you know what I mean. And I've done a lot of work. Integrating the shadow, if you want to call it that. And it's why I'm able to be myself. I wasn't always this way. I've been afraid of being able to express myself. Even my views of certain things. And so I guess maybe that's what this video is going to be about, at least for today. Is just you can be yourself. All right, it's so important to be authentic and to accept where you're at too. It's not about perfect. All right, it's about honest. And the the situation that I've found myself in, multiple times, is that a lot of people have chosen to give away that authenticity for, rather than have self-acceptance, they've wanted to be accepted by the group, accepted by another. And from at least my standpoint, you can't be really truly accepted by another until one accepts themselves. And if one accepts themselves and then the group or this other people don't accept you, that's on them, man. That has nothing to do with you personally. That has nothing to do with me personally. All right, that has to do with you. All right. And then I would say, what work, if you're judging me, or not accepting me for that situation or whatever, I would ask you, and just like, what work do you have to do? Where do you not accept yourself? Because a lot of the times that's the situation, is that like if I'm freely expressing myself and spinning this and being acting the fool in a way, it triggers people. A few people have came up to me and told me, oh yeah, it's cool what you're doing, but I've had even more people come up to me and being like, that's evil, that's witchcraft, you're waving a wand around. And just to explain too, this is hard, man. Uh, and I have pouches on my bag. I've taped these up so that it doesn't damage my bag, because this is something I salvaged. This is something that I found. All right, because like I said, I wear my life, in the open. Currently, I'm homeless. All right, and I kind of live amongst a homeless population here, and a big portion of my initial journey was, you know, feeling like I could walk into these groups and I could really help these people, and that I would be helping myself at the same time. It wasn't like I even wanted to be accepted by these people per se. I kind of felt like we were all in the similar situation. We're all homeless. We're all scraping by. The economy is the way that it is. Situation is the way that it is. If we band together, if we love ourselves, accept ourselves, hold ourselves accountable, be willing to hold each other accountable too to that same standard. To me, those are what the first Christians were. Christ. Seriously, and it's. I just had a very different experience. If anything, it was almost like satanic. What I ended up going through. And yeah, drugs were involved and everything, street drugs. And I won't get into more of that at the moment. It's, for maybe another video. But, and that's a whole other thing too. I have a very neutral stance on drugs in general. I think anything that we like depend on in order to feel okay is going to be a problem, like ultimately. At the same time, and maybe it's just the hippie in me, but some psychedelics and some other things, they allowed me to get in touch with a higher state of being, a different way of seeing things. They opened up my perception, and so I can't, I'm not one of those people who's going to be like, drugs are bad, okay? It's like, well, they can be, but they don't have to be. It really just depends on how we use them and whether we think we need them or not. Anything that we need, even if it's approval from other people, if we need it, we're going to run into problems. We're going to sacrifice authenticity in order to get that need met. And this is also the shadow work, man, where that, if you want to call it the id, or whatever, but the inner child, if there's a need, like a true need that's unmet, it's going to get met in some way, shape, or form. And this is why I think it's so important to do the work. I'm not around a group all the time. A lot of times I'm all by myself, and at the moment I kind of prefer it. I'm looking for a group. I'm looking for a community to participate in, to be a part of, to enjoy life with. But I'm still looking. And I'm maybe dipping my toe in some of the churches around here. They're good. All right, I don't knock them. I'm just cut from a different cloth, I guess, and it's just kind of been a social misfit most of my life. And so I at this point in my life, and I'm just turned 42 years old, so I've been around for a while now. Uh, I just kind of accept myself, and it's just like I'm used to being the social outcast at this point, and so part of me was looking forward to being able to be a part of a homeless community, because in my opinion, I was thinking it was going to be like a band of misfits, man. Like we all get together, we all support each other, and we're all a little bit different, but we make the ends meet, and it just wasn't that, you guys. It just wasn't that for me. If anything, I was. I don't want to go into it too much, but it was just like the group dynamics that I saw. Everybody takes advantage, like not in a good way, but just like they steal from each other, they lie to each other, and they just kind of accept it. And much like I would say a traumatized family dynamics. And I know I'm covering a lot of ground on today. You just like if like look up stuff, I guess. But I just have a lot of experience, you guys. I just have a lot of experience with a lot of different things. But getting back to what I was talking about, yeah, in narcissistic family units, there's often a scapegoat, And I kind of found myself being subjected to that role. And I didn't, I'm done with that. I've lived most of my life now being, like I've said on my channel a lot, being an enabler, allowing things to happen, loving people, supporting people, being taken advantage of, not in a good way. And being given breadcrumbs, just like crumbs for love or attention or anything. And I'm, supposed to be grateful for those crumbs while, yeah, I'm basically lied to, cheated, stolen from, fuck that. Excuse my language, but just like, no. I'm done with that. All right. So we're like coming around in 10 minutes. Maybe I'll keep it a short video. I'm doing my best to make my videos a little bit shorter, a little more palatable. And so, yeah, you guys, good talk, right? What I would say is, in summary, be authentic, all right? Be honest, with yourself, first of all. And as a process, as one is authentic within themselves, they will start to express authenticity, within the world, within the community, with everything. And like I said, it's a process, all right? And I'm hoping here the wind isn't too loud. I'm using my umbrella. I don't know if you can kind of see it, but kind of suppress the wind here. Anyway, yeah, it's getting a little bit windy here. I think it's a call to wrap it up here. One of the things that I like to say in my videos as a closing is, see on the flip side. And so what I mean by the flip side is in our family unit, in our community, whether it's a religion or society or whatever, generational trauma, whatever it is, all right, we were born into an upside down kind of a world where we were shown to suppress our authenticity. We were shown that we're not okay as we are. And that's a lie. All right, I'm telling you guys straight up, that is a lie. All right. And I'm saying, when we do the healing, when we do the work, when we really connect with this, all right, and there's different ways to say it, and I don't make it hidden on my channel, but like, there's a God, you guys, and this God is more than what I would even say the God of the Christian Bible. All right, it is more than any God portrayed in any book. It is something that is more encompassing, more beautiful, more good than we can possibly even imagine. And it is so good and so encompassing, it even encompasses what we would call evil. All right, and so it's not it's because it's not in opposition with itself. All right, and yeah, so it's just like and that's one of the things that I also have on my channel that I talk about too. It's important to find community. All right, like, I'm looking for it, okay, for me. And at the same time, I think what's the most important by far is one needs to have a personal relationship with God. All right, that is something that nobody can take away from you. If the reason that I'm not on drugs right now, the reason that I've been able to walk away from toxic, poisonous environments and people who are still mired in self-doubt and trauma that they have yet to process fully, rather than just keep reliving that trauma over and over again, um, it's because I have a personal relationship with God, and it's something that I've focused on. And I would even go so far as to say we already have a personal relationship with God, but cleaning it up and yeah, is what makes life true again. What makes life authentic again. Um, so we can see the beauty that life was intended for. Like, that's what I mean by genuineness and authenticity and honesty, is that when we really stick with that, if we place the truth above all else, all right, we will end up finding, at least from my experience, all right, my opinion from what I've lived, we find that love and truth, they live together, man. All right. And so what I just talked about, that's the flip side. All right. I like, if we were born upside down, if we were born spiritually dead in a way, or taught to be inauthentic, flip that around, man. Just flip it around. So that's the flip side. All right. So so guys, if you made it this far, please like, please subscribe. I love it. I'm doing my best to make more videos, to be a little bit more diligent on there. It just takes focus for me, and you know my situation. I'm still living on the streets, so I got to find my little avenues to post, to charge the phone, and everything. So I'll leave it at there. All right. So thank you guys. Thanks for being part of my journey as I'm part of yours. And in every single way. God bless. All right. So peace out, love within, and I'll catch you on the flip side, as you'll catch me. Gotta find that.